the Darkseer offlane solo feels kind of weak and underwhelming versus C-Deck.
Yeah, he's good. I want to say he's good for them, but he's not good against the opposition, if that makes sense. Like, you can see the obvious synergy where you want to vacuum into a kinetic field and a call down, which sounds great on paper. But before vacuum comes online, you need at least level 3 vacuum before it's really useful. Preferably level 4. And then you're looking at a Darkseer who needs to be like level 10 or 11 before that combo play comes out. And as far as the laning goes, he's playing against a Drow and 4 ranged heroes. That's something that Darkseer doesn't really enjoy that much. He doesn't, as a lane counter, he's generally good against melee carries, so you can harass with the Iron Shell or you can fight supports one-on-one.
That's
but
why I wonder,
I don't think he can win that.
Is Nature's Prophet going to be off lane or 4-roll? Because we've seen a lot of 4-roll Nature's Prophet stick him in the jungle. We saw that from FY quite a bit.
I actually think that would be really good. Well, then they need another hero that can stand against the Gyro Disruptor lane, which is difficult, but...
Yeah, we're talking about that
I
you
think
need to
they
win
could
your
be
lanes lately, so it might be slightly greedy in this case.
The top lane is an auto-win, I think. Witch Doctor Drow can't lose to any 2 heroes that HGT put. Alright, now they definitely can't lose that lane.
So Darkseer, Iron Shell level 1, you can have a lot of fun up there, huh?
Yeah, I think he might need to start in the jungle, actually.
HGT.
He can die level 1. Gets shackled, Drow and Witch Doctor just stand there and hit him for like 60 damage per attack, and then they cask. Or they can even Maledict on top of shackles. It's actually really strong.
And once the Drow gets 2, you may have the Silence coming into play as well, and then there's no surge potential anyway.
Like Maledict level 1 Witch Doctor, we've seen this against Beastmasters, Darkseers, because they don't have great mobility at level 1, so you just stand there and zone them out, take them down to a third of their HP, and they just can't trade hits.
I think in this game I would actually start jungle with Darkseer. Or you would go check the rune, and then if you get the rune, maybe you try for level 2 in lane, but he might end up just really wasting his time up there. It depends what HGT do last time. If they pick 2-1-2 setup, they can actually get away with quite a lot in the top lane.
Which hero would you like to see with Darkseer if that's the case?
I don't know. Something like a defensive support could be good, but then I'm just worried about their mid-game potential. Alright, there is a defensive support. I was thinking if they wanted to go down that route, I think maybe the Abaddon would have been a better pick.
Yeah.
Just remove the shackles. It's good against Maledict as well as the cask.
The tree is going to give them a lot more as far as the overall strategy
global,
goes, though, because they want to push. I mean, that's obvious. Nature's Prophet, Drow, a couple of other ranged heroes, and that's where Living Armor could be a real game changer, especially if they get past the laning stage and you're getting into that stage in the game where HGT, or where they look to rat, then you have a potential to counter that to some extent with the Living Armor.
Now, one of the upsides is you have a Shadow Shaman, and with the Tree Protector, you want to take the tower down in one go, if you do go for that tower. So
yeah,
in this case, you have got a Shadow Shaman, you put the wards down, and you should be able to take the tower down in one go.
I think this is the kind of push strat that Treant is not that good against. I don't think they're picking it to defend the towers. I think they're picking it to secure the lanes.
Yeah,
it
could definitely help for that.
This is a way of enabling Darkseer in the offlane. They give him a chance now, at least. I still don't actually know if he can manage. I can't remember the damage of Shackle. I think that can take away Living Armor stacks.
I'm not actually sure.
But even if it can't, I still think he's going to have a hard offlane. And the question is, alright, so you're giving Living Armor to the Viper, which is
1 kill with the Leech Seed gank, with Living Armor potentially turning a fight. I could see it going the other way. And they are scary to push into. They have a very strong Wombo combo.
Yeah, I would favor C-Deck as well. If they at least don't lose the lanes, they don't even necessarily have to win it. If they don't lose any major towers at the start of the game during the laning stage, then they should be good to go.
I mean, the key hero for me is Pretty Haw for HGT. He has to have a big game on Disruptor.
C-Deck can spread pretty thin as the game goes along. They've got great reaction heroes. Just to TP in and change the fight.
Oh, they're going to start off right off the bat. Big rumble in the river already. Kaka going in. Super aggro on the tree. They'll find the first blood already, and they're looking for more with the Rocket Barrage coming out. Heavy damage already done. Viper continuing to engage here, but now Drow has arrived, and with that, HGT looking to back off. Ends up being a 1-for-1 trade, but first blood to HGT.
Who got the rune?
Didn't see who got either bounty rune.
Darkseer got the bottom rune. That's a really good start for him.
They got double bounty and first blood. Okay, this definitely changes things up.
Oh yeah, Disruptor got the top rune. So he's almost level 2 from the start. That's really, really good for them. Shadow Fiend did get one of the kills for the Dire, so that's a good start for him. But he did not have Necromastery skilled, so he didn't get all those souls. And that means Viper should still have a little bit of an edge here in the start.
He also used basically all of his mana as well. I guess he's got Salve coming out, but this is going to slow down his CS potential. He does have the Drow. The Drow should help.
It's a bottle.
Oh, okay.
He got a kill. Yeah, he went fast bottle build, 4 branches. That's actually very unusual start build.
Yeah. Well, he has the Drow. I suppose he's expecting to CS pretty well, even earlier on.
This lane, so with HGT running an aggressive tri lane and safe laning Darkseer, I think they identified the problem that DS is probably not going to have a chance up here. Instead, he can pretty much free farm against Nature's Prophet. This is a lane that I want to say is fairly even, but where Darkseer can definitely win if he gets in with a surprise play on the Prophet.
Darkseer definitely has higher kill potential in this lane.
And if he skills Vacuum level 1 at some point earlier than usual, he can actually try to go for a kill with Ion Shell, and when Prophet tries to TP out, you just vacuum him at the end.
Yeah, and he's going to be pressuring the tower a lot here, just constantly killing off the wave. You'll see the creeps coming in. He's zoning the Prophet back nicely now. This does get a bit harder as the lane moves along and Prophet starts to get more damage from the Drow, but you can see already the creeps marching in, and they are giving a lot of experience to XZ, and they're running an aggressive trying against the Prophet who's getting levels. That can be very risky.
Yeah, that's the one downside, is that this top lane, as far as, well, so far the Drow hasn't really been getting much. She has 2 CS to the, how many of Gyro? 2. Whoa, okay, interesting.
6 denies
6
on Tyra. That's
well,
versus Drow Aura as well is quite impressive.
Yeah, so they're just trying to pull back the lane and get that advantage. That's what you generally want to do when you run an aggressive try. The problem is this pull was still open in the top left, so they do get this combo pull for the Dire, and this will get the wave back, at least to an extent. And Drow will just farm safely under the tower.
And I think if you're C-Deck, the way the game developed, you mainly just want to get levels on the Prophet, and then you look to use him to completely blow up the tri-lane. Get level 6, come in with maybe a Shackle, Hex combo, cast coming out, and then you just use your 4 ranged heroes and damage to bring them down.
If HGT don't win this lane, I think they're actually in trouble. Disruptor and Treant don't do that well with low levels, and you're playing an aggressive tri-lane with both. They're going to get super under-leveled if you don't manage to pull anything. They got a little bit of that pull to the left, so that's good for them, at least that they managed to snipe that. But if they don't pressure the Drow too much, and like you said, Prophet free farms, the risk-reward ratio top for them, I think it's really high risk. And, well, the reward is also great if they can find the kills, but if they don't, and this Prophet hits 6, it's going to be classic, like, we saw quite a lot of teams trying that. I mean, it's a long time ago at TI3, but when Alliance were playing Prophet offlane and other enemy teams tried to aggressive tri-lane them,
They just get shut down.
The moment Bulldog hit that level 6 timing, their safe lane always won.
I mean, the one option is, you know that's potential's coming, so they could rotate Darkseer to the jungle or the offlane, because he's already got a great start, and then put the tri-lane back in the safe lane.
I think they might have to do that.
And we do see Shiki starting to collect himself here, man. Had a bit of a rough start versus the Viper, but now with the bottle, the boots out, he can just start spamming these waves, and Air used basically all of his mana on just constant poison attack harass. So things are starting to level out mid. For now, Viper holding a very slight CS lead, just evens it up here. Darkseer significantly at bottom. It's to be expected at this stage of the matchup.
The Drow's actually out farming Gyro. I feel like this is what can't happen for HGT when they run a lane like this. They're getting out farmed on the carry. Their supports have 0 CS against a 6 CS Witch Doctor and a, well, 1 CS Shadow Shaman.
Good cancel TP there. Would have been a potential kill. Does he have a skill point in reserve, or has he already? No, he's already used all skill points. Yeah. Could have potentially killed the Prophet with a pointed vacuum, as you mentioned, but can't really guarantee you're going to find something like a Haster and catch him out of position. Kind of a risky build. Well, Shadow Fiend on top now, as far as the CS charts go. So much for the great early start the Viper has. Again, this is just the Drow factor more than anything coming into play.
And I think also the level 1 fight favored Shadow. He got the first, or he didn't get first blood, but he got a kill. And Viper used a lot of his mana on the level 1 fight, I think, on poison attack.
That's true.
I think he attacked like 6 or 7 times, and that means that's 140 mana that he doesn't have when he comes to the lane. So his harassment is very limited, and Shadow got an instant bottle. He already has Treadsman at 449. This is really, really early.
This is basically the stage of the matchup where, unless they gank, Shadow Fiend's just going to turbo farm and pull way ahead of the Viper. And Viper can't really go on him unless he misses a raise, because then there's the counterplay kill potential from a triple raise. Prophet is getting close, actually has the 6. This is, the one thing is when he TPs out, if it doesn't work, then Darkseer can really pressure the tower. But if he finds those kills, then it's going to be well worth it.
Yeah, Darkseer is he's the bright point for HGT right now. He's doing well.
I want to point out he has an early TP, and he is actually pretty scary now with the new and improved wall. So maybe Prophet ganks, but XTT also comes and disrupts the tri-lane. Looks like they want to make their go, maybe. The Prophet ult comes out. Aggressive, going to run, and Cast starts bouncing. Here comes the TP from Darkseer. He's already moving his way in. Might be able to turn this one a little bit. Kaka's up in front, and they get onto Aggressive quickly. Now starting to pursue the other way. Surge coming through, trying to engage, but that Witch Doctor Heal just doing so much work. One-man army. XTT trying to push these other heroes back. They'll return for kills. 2, but already a 2-for-1. A win for C-Deck, and this is with the Prophet still at the bottom rune. Now the Gust back. They try to turn this one again. The cast bouncing beautifully out too. XTT getting forced out of here. He's going to go in with the wall, try and single-handedly take down 3 heroes, but he can't quite do it. It looks like one more auto attack. They wipe the tri-lane. They also get the kill here on the Darkseer.
That was 4 for 0.
Disastrous.
Oh my god.
And he was ready too. He TP'd in almost instantly. Really good casks that fight, I
Yeah.
felt. And then a great Gust towards the end that just completely shut them down.
It's pretty crazy that they managed to win that 4 for 0 without Prophet getting involved. He didn't even port in. He only used his ults.
Yeah, he walked to the bottom rune, picked up a rune, then just headed back towards the lane.
Like,
Well-
hey guys, do you need my help for this 4-on-3? Oh, we're good. Just stay in your bottom lane.
We have Drow and 3 ranged heroes. We'll be fine.
Yeah, but the Witch Doctor heal, like you said, really important there. I don't know, was that a level 1 or a level 2 heal? Because
It's level 2.
he seemed to out-heal. Yeah, he must have been level 4 when that happened. He wouldn't have got 2 levels from that. So he could actually almost out-heal the Ion Shell. Yeah, unfortunately, I have DC'd here, so I can't look at the numbers myself right now. But
It's
so-
70 damage per second.
yeah, so that's
I think
about
he's healing for
50 after reduction.
24.
And he heals
Yeah.
for 20.
It's about half,
So he takes away half the Ion Shell's power. And
Which is a lot.
the problem with Darkseer porting in like that is that he doesn't have time to precast a shell. Because if they have 2 shells there, if there's a shell on the Treant and on the Darkseer, they win that fight. They run them over, but it wasn't an option.
It's also the stage of the game where normally a gyro would be level 6, and that
Yep.
that ultimate would completely change a fight like that. But it's the downside of the aggressive Trent lane. You don't get his early levels. As well as the
Okay.
Drow finding quite a few denies in the lane.
Yeah, now they have to play the recovery style where they swap their tri-lane around.
But you would have liked to do this before that fight, not as a
Yes.
reaction to it.
Exactly. Yeah. That's is also what we talked about. When Prophet hits 6, it's going to get scary. Maybe they should just swap the lanes before it happens, and no, they get the right idea. But it's after they lost 4 heroes and like 2,000 gold. So I don't know.
And as we're seeing here from our dedicated observer, that is likely an early medallion coming out for C-Deck. And
They can Rosh.
They can Rosh super fast, yeah. They have the ward. I don't even think they need the wards, but they have the wards, the Shadow Aura, Drow Aura, Treants to tank, Witch Doctor heal. I mean, it's just tailor-made for Roshan, really.
Yeah. They could probably do, if he gets a medallion around minute 10, they could probably kill Rosh in 20 seconds, I guess, which
That-
is very fast at this point in time.
I mean, this is pretty much a dream start for C-Deck. They give up first blood and they lose both bounty runes, but everything else has gone their way. That team fight top, they've done pretty well in the laning stage as far as keeping the equilibrium back top and getting good levels on the Drow. Both of their supports hit level 6 nearly now. Q about halfway there, and already looks like Garter claimed it, so they're in great position to Deathball. Once the Shaman wards come out, that's where HGT start having to make very difficult decisions. They're going to have the Shadow Fiend mech, the Medallion, probably the early Aegis. What do you do against that? They can't
know.
really split push that quickly. That is, they don't have much in the way of tower damage on their team.
I think this is what couldn't happen for HGT. If we compare this to a lot of the Western games we've seen with Drow, even without Visage, just this kind of stereotypical lineup, I don't know what the win rate of the Drow side is, but it's got to be really, really high if you get a start like this and you play against a lineup of this type. Because HGT, they can only fight, right? They don't have really good split push potential. They could do a bit with Darkseer, but it's not that great. Their supports are underleveled and really don't gank that well.
They can't sneak Roshan. They don't have
They
much.
don't really have any counterplay.
Yeah.
They just have to try and hold their towers and try to farm and hope that their supports can get a couple of kills so they can get level 6s and maybe they can snowball off that, but there's some way to go. They're both level 4, right? Disruptor actually cracks 5. It's not too bad then.
I
thought it
feel
was looking worse.
we talked about it early in the game, but playing from a deficit, this is not really where Disruptor wants to be as a hero, but still perhaps Prophet will get caught out of position at times, or they can glimpse him back and then try to take a fight from there. But outside of that, they just don't have a playmaker, really. They don't have a Clockwork type hero that we saw yesterday, Lion, Earthshaker, even someone who can allow them to find that opening to start getting pickoffs. And, well, right on schedule. C-Deck 10 minutes in, here's the Rosh.
That movement pattern from Shiki was actually really, really good. I don't know if you noticed, but we saw the Radiant Vision. They saw him get the rune. He was moving up toward the mid lane, and then he went around the tree to the right. But that was after he was out of vision for the Treant. And I think it was actually random because the Treant, he had no vision of the Treant. If he did that, would have been a super good play. Or maybe he expected this, and he actually... Treant went to scout the rune, he sees him get the rune, he sees him move back toward mid, and the moment Treant is out into the fog to the left, he turns around and goes and does Rosh. So they had no idea. They actually, if anything, they probably thought, okay, they're at least not doing Rosh yet, because Shadow Fiend's going back to mid, but Really nice movement there from Shiki, and you get the Aegis and the tower running.
And here you go. They are smoked. They want to try and take a fight here. They're going to get off the Static Storm Kinetic Field. That catches two. Calldown coming over the top. What a beautiful initiation from HGT. They pop the Aegis. They kill off the Shaman, who immediately buys back, looks to re-engage, still has his ultimate. Death Ward going strong, will find XTT. They're fighting through this Aegis kill, CDEK, and looking to push forward. And now the combo's down. No Calldown available, no Static Storm. CDEK still have the Shaman wards. It looked great for HGT, but now they're losing tier 2 as well.
Yeah, that Disruptor level 6 timing was crucial. If he's not 6 there, they don't even stand a chance of taking this fight. But I think it caught them a little bit by surprise. At least it did me. He was level 5 a moment ago with like 0 points of experience into level 6. But he got a little bit of solo time, I guess, to get that Static Storm off, which is
seeing how quickly they killed that tower, I almost wonder if they should have saved the wards and tried to threaten high ground even.
Yeah, they might have actually been able to get away with it with their mech being off cooldown in 15, but...
I liked the buyback from Shaman there, though. It was very decisive, less about like winning the team fight and more, we know they've used all their ults, they cannot defend the tier 2 anymore.
Yeah. They're going to be looking for the tier 1 as well. Gyro will have his ult again now. And alright, they're actually pinging out Kaka there. Dropping a sentry.
Uh-oh.
Good foresight.
He does not have his level 6 yet, so no overgrowth. Not really much he can do here.
Radiant's bottom tower is
This is really not a Treant situation right now. This is not the kind of...
The Living Armor is
game
going to
he's
be
good at.
useless against the push in this situation, and he doesn't have any team fight potential as of yet.
And it's also not really that useful for a hero. When you have 5 ranged heroes, it's fairly easy to get some auto attacks off. Requiem of Souls will immediately remove multiple layers. Serpent Wards, same story. Even the Treants can actually remove them, so... It's pretty difficult for him to be very impactful until he can get a great overgrowth off, and that's going to be the play, is that if you imagine that last fight where they get the Storm and the Kinetic Field off, if there's an overgrowth on top of that, they might actually win that fight and not lose their tower, but that's the timing push right there.
It's going to basically be every time the wards are up, they go for another tower. And I'm curious to see our Shaman's build here, whether he'll look towards the Blink Dagger or if Q even considers just the straight Aghanim Scepter or even Necro Book Rush just to help fuel this push. For now, he's saving like he looks like he wants to go for a blink. And I'm pretty heading off towards the middle lane. And aggressive, just doing a little bit of ancient farming. Experience lead is not overwhelming here. And as good as the game looks for CDEK, one dominant team fight for HGT, it will completely flip on its head. So it's a nice lead, but they have to continue following the script here to pull out the win.
Yeah, I think the script involves a couple of BKBs. Shadow Fiend is probably getting it as his next item. I would say it's definitely the best choice. Looks like it. It's got to be Sanjin Yasha, right? We love Sanjin Yasha and Shadow Fiend.
I mean, in this situation, I like it actually, but I think BKB first is the way to go.
Yeah, I guess Drow is kind of the same story. He got his Yasha. I think he's now going to be building into BKB. Could also consider Sanjin Yasha. I feel like HGT actually can't kill them if they get BKBs. They have a way of getting out of Overgrowth. The Static Storm doesn't matter. Viper ult, it slows but doesn't deal damage. Gyro is all about the magic damage right now. His Flak Cannon is not hurting yet. It's all about Call Down and Rocket Barrage.
He is grossly underfarmed.
He has nothing, really. So if these BKBs come up at a reasonable timing, I don't know if HGT can hold. I think that the challenge for them right now is to find some sort of meaningful ganks. They obviously have Nature's Guys to try to set up with. Gyro, if he comes up close and personal, easy kill on the Prophet. Disruptor, of course, will be able to catch him off guard, but nice scouting here with the Treants is going to disallow this gank from happening. And I think CDEK is just going to be out farming them constantly.
Yeah, and at this point it seems like they're going to wait for the BKBs you mentioned, possibly the next stages. Maybe they just go for a tier 2, then try to break the base with the Aegis, but it's going to be that...
Oh, this could be big.
A fight around the big objectives type of situation. They are looking to go in here with the tree, and he gets off the Overgrowth on 2, but XZ's TP'd in. They surge air forward, then he decides he wants to run away, but now he's sprouted. He ain't going anywhere. In come the Shaman wards from the side. They got off the Darkseer wall, but not really the best. Death Ward flying through in the meantime, zoning everyone out. Gyro down, Overgrowth down. Here comes the tier 2 push. Do not have Shaman wards for high ground.
Disgusting damage.
It is. They don't bet this is without the Shaman wards, by the way.
has fallen.
Yeesh.
And once again, they could maybe have tried for high ground here, but this time around there's still a Static Storm available, and I think that makes the risk a little bit too high. They're close to BKBs. This is very, very solid and good decision making.
Your favorite item.
Oh, I love this. Well, if you're getting S&Y, 15 minutes is a good timing. what I really dislike is when we see a lot of players,
the
even in this
30-minute
tournament.
SNY, yeah.
I think 3 games we've seen a Shadow Fiend get SNY at 30 minutes. I mean, no wonder he's got 2 and 13 score in this tournament. I know. Get something useful.
Where are you now? SNY fan.
What's the win rate of Rodovatos?
It can't be
On
worse than
topic
the
of items
30-minute
I don't
SNY.
like.
How about Vanguard? That's the real question.
Vanguard's okay. Well, I guess Merlini might be coming in tonight, then we can fight up over that. I don't know.
We're going to make a no Vanguard hating policy here. He's not allowed in the studio if he's going to flame. Show some respect. HGT will smoke up now. They're looking to find an opening here, but I mean, look at C-Deck. They are just so far back. I don't think they actually saw the smoke, but it's more just the map is very much empty of HGT heroes. Do have lane war top, seeing nobody's in the neighborhood. HGT just not going to find anything with this one.
It's understandable that they try to go for this. They haven't taken a tower. They have no map presence right now. They have to try to find something to snowball off, but they don't. Oh, I love this, by the way.
The trees.
It's
Oh,
just,
you like the Vlads?
I like the Vlads,
Okay.
yeah. So I feel like this item in general is still underrated. It got a lot more popular over the last year.
I mean, it's 5 range tiers with Drow Aura and
Yeah.
Lifesteal. That's pretty good.
You probably wouldn't have seen this with the old Vlads for this kind of lineup. I still feel like in a lot of games it would have been worth it. Like just the damage and the armor aura for the 2,000 gold it used to cost is still, or 2,075, whatever. It's a little bit more expensive now, but gives the ranged aura. I think it's really good. It's great against Flak Cannon at some point when that's going to be a threat, and it's just setting them up for the push. They're itemizing for the situation and how they want to play, and even though it's a little bit uncharacteristic of an item, I really like it as a Prophet build in this game.
Well, Shadow Fiend BKB is nearly here.
Yeah.
Roshan likely to be respawning in just a moment or two. Oh, maybe 4 minutes if they get unlucky. But even then, they'll have the Shadow Fiend BKB. The Drow can work towards her next item.
Oh, wow, where did that come from? Oh,
The
that's no
naked
boots.
blink. I don't mind that. Kaka's not making plays with boots at this stage of the game, you know. So.
I think it's time for desperation plays. I actually think this is really cool, and it takes balls to make a play like that, a call like this. But he did have boots before, right? He started
I
with
believe
boots.
so.
He had
Yeah,
boots
he's-
level 1.
He sold them.
So they're going all in. They're going to smoke for this right now. They
Not spotted, but it is still a pretty long
Dire's middle
roll as far
tower
as
is
smokes
under
It's a
go.
long walk for the slow train.
Already, C-Deck. It's okay. He's got the smoke move speed, dude. Come on, he's fine.
guys.
He's got 345 MS, and he's fine. But there's no Roshan yet, I don't think.
Man, if this smoke fails again, yeah, the Roche isn't up.
They're going to get a good ward down.
Yeah.
And did they see anyone? I think it might have been just out of... Oh, no, they already smoked on C-Deck.
Oh boy, this is horrible time for
They-
HT.
they have a-
They're buying Gem too.
Oh, jeez. From this position, that is very risky. HGT are moving towards a potential Gambit. The Gyro's in the front lines. He's going to get Blink Hexed immediately. Hello, says Q. And, well, see you later. No cooldown for this fight. Static Storm, a complete whip. And now HGT are looking to be routed here. Sprout will find the Disruptor, not the Darkseer, who just turns to and runs. They Shadow Fiend BKB'd, which didn't quite seem necessary, but C-Deck
This is actually
taking no
Rax.
chances here, and they've got the wards.
I think-
they can just push in.
Radiant's bottom
I think this is
tower
Rax
under
there.
attack.
You also see it looks like that's their idea as well. They have 15 seconds, which doesn't sound like a lot 19 minutes in when you get a tier 2 tower, but
I mean, it's what we
if they
talked
just
about.
place the wards, I think it's enough.
They can't kill the wards quickly for HGT. They don't have much right-click damage. And there's no hero that outranges them like, well, the main one being Sniper.
Radiant
Treants come out, wards get deployed in a pretty decent position. They've got the double Treant army going. Air, just slowly trying to kill off just a ward or two here or there. They're not committing their heroes, though. It seems they decide not to risk it, because Roshan could be up now, and I think that's the main issue here. C-Deck, they don't want to lose a big team fight and then possibly HGT allowed to get Aegis or force out some C-Deck buyback.
And only Static Storm is down. So in hindsight, I thought they were going to be a little bit faster than this, and that they would at least get the tower.
Honestly,
but
they
good glyph.
probably could have made it work, but it's just a bit risky.
Yeah.
From this position, why take that chance?
I wasn't accounting for the glyph when I thought they were going to be able to get that tower really fast. So
But
they trade Mass Serpent Wards for glyph. I still feel like that's a good trade. There's
Yeah,
no
'cause-
tier 1 towers they want to claim to give the glyph cooldown back. So
and they're going to have Aegis and wards before that glyph cools down.
Yeah.
And then they can look to break the base.
HGT actually need to pull off a miracle fight to hold that. I think they're like 15,000 gold behind now. This has
And I
got
think-
to be like 15k.
And I
Yeah.
think they're
Oh my God.
almost exactly. Yeah, I think you looked at the graph first.
No,
before
I
you
actually said it first.
You're
I swear.
lying, Sin.
I swear. I never
You're
lie.
lying.
I'm not a liar. Like you.
Hey, be nice now. But, I mean, the big issue is you're saying they need the Miracle Fight. They have one good ward out near the Roche Pit. That is fair, but no tier 2s to stage an attack from. I don't even know if they have a smoke left on HGT. Maybe one at this point, but
I think they're out.
it's starting to run very thin.
3 minutes and 20.
They won't have a smoke for the Roche fight unless there's one already in someone's inventory, which I don't believe there is. Nope. They're in trouble.
They are starved. And they don't even have any really meaningful items going into this fight apart from the mech on the Viper. Gyro is still 1,300 gold away from a BKB at minute 21. And really can't fight into, even with a BKB, can't really fight into the lineup. He's just going to get right-clicked down. The amount of farm he's going to need now is still... There is actually no way HGT win this game without winning a team fight really convincingly. It's the only way they come back in it.
And I feel like in order for them to win a team fight, CDEC has to severely mess it up.
Yes.
They can't just like, oh, throw our bodies at them and hit our ults and we're going to win. No. They're 5 ranged heroes against this big AoE combo. It's actually not that easy to connect on it if CDEC siege correctly. You can just put the Shadow Fiend in front, send the Treants in, drop the wards. Everyone else can hang back. Maybe Drow plinks away, but you don't have to like put 5 heroes on the high ground by any means.
And it's pretty difficult to imagine how CDEC will lose this fight. But if they do, they will probably lose it by like 1 or 2 kills, and that's still not going to be enough. That's the problem. Like when HGT kind of need to win this fight like 4 or 5-0 or 4-1 or something really convincing to get at least some sort of grip back into this game. It's very difficult to see that happening. Witch Doctor almost finishes off his Glimmer Cape. To be a little bit, he's going to look fabulous with that on. He actually needs it.
He already looks fabulous.
Well, he kind of needs a cape.
Oh, he's a bit of a hunchback, actually. He needs to work on his posture.
This is gods.
The hair needs a little work, but he's got the posture down pat.
And that's me saying that. I still don't. I still don't have the best
You're living
posture
in a
the
glass house, to be fair.
Yeah, I really am.
The Hunchback of Denmark.
Golem, get you gone.
Only the dankest memes here from Synderen.
I have decent posture there. Why is it screen black? All right, there we go.
You're kind of slumped.
It wasn't that bad.
It was pretty bad.
Thanks, production.
Whoops, he says.
Great.
No, definitely an accident. All right, CDEC, here we go. The big smoke gambit. If they find a kill here, this will be Rax, possibly even 2 lanes. They do have the tree blink dagger, but it's just so hard to see them finding a perfect fight, and it simply must be perfect. Uh-oh. This is very imperfect. They're going to gust air. Now the Prophet all coming out. He is one of the tankiest heroes. Tries for the TP out, but they find him, hex him up, surround him, and raise him down. Easy for CDEC. And now they just go high ground. One of the better heroes to kill off the mech carrier. Viper dead for 40. Has buyback, but how much will it really matter?
I think they should actually maybe go bottom here. Yeah, they're going to rotate as well. I think it's a better call. The tower is almost down. They know there's no glyph. Oh wait, never mind. They actually living armored that all the way up. Okay.
Even CDEC maybe
It's still a better lane to siege for them. It's a safer position.
Harder to hit that combo here as well.
Yeah, the
good
attack angle is
positioning.
bad.
Look at the Shadow Fiend, just all the way to the south of the tower. Almost impossible to get in onto Shiki. I really like the way they're approaching this one. Viper will buy back. They're going to throw out a nuke on Shiki. Aggressive is in pretty far forward, but for now he's going to be just fine. Shiki has the BKB mech. Aggressive, I believe, has the Aegis. They're going to use a Force Staff here to try to initiate. Now the cooldown coming through. Requiem looking to counter a lot of the outgoing damage. Aggressive will turn this as well, just marching forward together with XZ. They lay into the range Rex. They'll finish that off. Now looking for pretty heavy right-click damage from the Nature's Prophet himself. Now the Rex about to fall completely. Melee down. Q getting shackled up and, well, actually will be dealt with in the end. But to what avail? Already the GGs come out. CDEC, this just looked very scripted, honestly. Everything goes according to plan. Prophet hits 6 ults. They wipe the tri-lane. They roll up all the towers. They take Rosha with an early medallion. They win the lanes with the Jawara. Just a classic Drow draft, it felt like, with a nice little twist with the Nature's Prophet.
And as far as structure goes in the game, I think this is the best executor strategy we've seen all tournament on this stream.
You know, I'm starting.
They made like no mistakes.
I'm starting to feel like Drow Ranger in